Brasileirao continues to spring surprises in the run into the end of the competition. Inter bounced back. The leaders did it the hard way in the fight against arch-enemies Gremio and opened up a gap at the top of the table. Apart from the leaders, the other teams in the G6 ran into trouble, and that's opened up a chance for Fluminense to take a place in the Libertadores slots. Goias pulled off a massive win, and that spells trouble for Fortaleza and Bahia, who are not yet free from danger of a spell in Serie B. Tough games, battles up the top and the bottom, and of course, lots of stunning goals, all coming up on Magazine 32 of the Brasileirao. Sao Paulo were without a win in the last 4 matches when they hosted a Curitiba side deep in the relegation zone. The hosts were desperate to go back top of the league, but it's the away team who started better with Galdizani. Sao Paulo kept trying to be dangerous in front of Wilson's goal, but weren't too effective. Dani Alves had the best chance in the first half inside the box, but there was a good save from the goalkeeper. In the second half, Curitiba still looked the better side, and Volpe saved Sao Paulo from his good chance from Nathan. But even though they had been creating, Curitiba conceded first. Pablo laid it off to Luciano, who finished with a great strike from just inside the box. His 14th in the league, and Sao Paulo jumped in front. Curitiba get pushing after the goal, as Sao Paulo still failed to produce the quality of football they'd shown in previous matches. This bizarre Juan Fran moment sums up Sao Paulo's last couple of weeks. After a great run and vision from Victor Bueno, Pablo had a chance to kill the game off and seal a win for the tricolor, but he was denied by Wilson, who kept Curitiba in it. Ailton could have done better with this one. After a good ball from Nathan Ribeiro, Ailton had options one-on-one against Arboleda, but made the wrong choice. When it looked like Sao Paulo were about to survive with a win, Curitiba found what they wanted. Ricardo Oliveira assisted Zaha Fiore, who connected with a decent finish to beat Volpe on his far post. This was the first goal from the Argentine for Curitiba, and it certainly helped parent club Internacional in their quest for the title. The result was an absolute letdown for Sao Paulo. After looking like runaway leaders for so long, the Morumbi club are in danger of spiralling down the table after 5 games without a win. And it's fair to say, manager Fernando Diniz and his players aren't too happy about it. Vasco da Gama and Atletico Mineiro were involved in a very good game on Saturday evening. The home side were desperate for the win to get away from the relegation zone. Atletico needed the 3 points to keep the title challenge going. It looked like it was going to be an easy win for Gallo. After 12 minutes in, Leo Matos handed the ball inside the area. VAR gave the penalty. Johan stepped forward but hit the post and then touched the ball for a second time. A chance missed for the away side. 5 minutes later, Leo Matos moved forward before finding Cano, who struck the net. His first goal after 6 games. And he remains Vasco's top scorer. Vasco then went 2 in front. Once again, Leo Matos was involved, this time picking out Iago Pikachu, who put the ball home. And once again the post was involved, but this time the ball found the back of the net. The best goal of the game came in the second half. Vasco went forward, and Benitez was involved with some good passing. The ball fell to Cano, and the Argentine pulled the trigger. A great move and a wonderful finish to extend the lead for Vasco. Gallo went on the attack and tried to press Vasco back into their defence. Substitute, Eduardo Sacha, found Johan, who reduced the scoreline. His 6th goal in the last 8 games and his 8th of the season. In the closing minutes, Guga hit a corner, Johan got a touch, and Sacha was there to head the ball home. The result left Vasco with 35 points and out of the relegation zone. Atletico lost their first game in 6 outings, but dropped points once again. Internacional started this one as leaders after a run of 7 straight wins in the bag. arch enemies Gremio were unbeaten in 16 games. Despite the occasion, the only good chance in the first half was at Inter. On the 34th minute, Praxedes found Yuri Alberto inside the box and the striker tested Vanderlei. Gremio's keeper made the save and the ball hit the crossbar. After the interval, Inter kept creating chances. Moses took a throw-in, Yuri Alberto sent the ball to the middle and Peglo wasted a big chance right in front of goal. Inter were on top, but it was Gremio who opened the scoring. With 75 minutes on the clock, Diogo Barbosa recovered the ball from the defence and came out at speed on the counter-attack. He crossed for Diego Souza, who set it up for Gianpieri. Gremio ahead and looking like they were on the verge of a 12-game unbeaten run against their bitter rivals. But the would-be champions came back strong. On the 89th minute, Cuesta crossed and Abel Hernandez, who'd just come off the bench, headed in to equalise. The Uruguayan striker's third goal in the Brasileirao. Deep into stoppage time, the referee awarded a controversial penalty for Inter. Eddie Nielsen headed towards goal and Kahneman was adjudged to have handled. The number 8 then stepped up at the penalty spot to ensure an epic victory for Internacional. Absolute joy for Inter, who took all 3 points from the old enemy. Inter now have a 4-point cushion over former leaders Sao Paulo. Gremio are in 6th and still in the Libertadores places. Defending champions Flamengo travel to Curitiba to face Atletico Paranaense with a mission of trying to close the gap on the leaders. The Hurricanes wanted to bounce back after defeat in the last round. The home team were better from the go and almost opened the scoring on the 20th minute when Hugo had to make a double save to contain the hosts. The first shot came from Carlos Eduardo, then Kaiser had another go. But Hugo couldn't do anything about this one. Left back Abner was wide open after this cross from Nicão and Atletico made it 1-0, the second Brasileirao goal for the 20-year-old. Shortly after, Atletico almost scored a very similar goal. It was Abner again with the attempt, but Hugo was able to save Flamengo this time round. The away side managed to tie the game before the break. Gustavo Henrique was the beneficiary of the set piece from Arrascaeta and finished with a strong header. This was Flamengo's first real chance of the match, and they were able to convert. Neither club wanted to take too many risks in the second half, and few chances were created. Atletico were rewarded for their performance on the 82nd minute, when good movement from Renato Kaiser led to his 11th goal of the season, and a game winner for the hosts. A terrific cross from Calvin to supply the striker. Atletico moved on to 42 points but remained in mid-table. Flamengo's loss saw title rivals Internacional jump 7 points ahead of them, though the Rubro-Negros do have a game in hand and are at home to the Porto Alegre outfit in the penultimate round of the Brasileirao. They're in the finals of the Libertadores and the Copa do Brasil, but Palmeiras still have an outside chance at the league title. At the weekend, the Greens travelled to the northeast to face Ceará, who've had a great season and are fighting for a place in the Sul-Americana. The Greens were the better side in the opening minutes, but couldn't capitalise. Lucas Lima and Gabriel Silva made goalkeeper Hitchard go to work early. Ceará are one of the teams with the best record at home, and they made that clear to Palmeiras. Lima took advantage of Gustavo Scarpa's error and made it 1-0. Solid work from Guto Ferreira's men. 3 minutes later, wonder kid Gabriel Veron missed a good chance to tie things up. Ceará doubled the lead after the ref called a penalty against Patrick de Paula. Main man Vina, who's been one of the best midfielders of the season, sent Jailson the wrong way. 5 minutes later, Veron made up for his earlier miss. There was a great assist from Lucas Lima, and the youngster beat Hitchard with a confident finish to cut the lead in half and put Palmeiras back in the game. After an intense first half and 3 goals, the second period had a slower pace and neither side was able to make a difference. The best chance came from Mineiro, who received a good ball from Mina but was denied by Jailson, and there was an offside on the move. Palmeiras missed a big opportunity to climb the table and close the gap at the top. But it was a fantastic victory and a big statement for Ceará against a top-class opponent. 3 wins in their last 4 matches for the hosts. There was a 7-goal thriller between Santos and Goias in the Vila Belmiro. The home side were at full strength and looked like they could be in for an easy 3 points. After just 7 minutes, they moved forward. Pituca crossed and Lucas Braga hit the net. A great goal to give Santos the lead. 30 minutes later, the home team doubled the score. Soteldo crossed, and this time Lucas Braga found Caio Jorge, who hit the net. A great birthday celebration for the 19-year-old forward. In the second half, Goias woke up. Shylon hit the corner, Idon got a touch, and Rafael Moura slotted it away. He-Man with a fantastic finish to put Goias back in the game. 5 minutes later, Shylon hit another corner, and centre-back David Duarte rose high and headed home. 2-2 in the Villa. The game then turned on its head. Vinicius Lopez was stopped by Sandri in the area, VAR gave the penalty, and Fernandao hit a powerful shot to give Goias a very unlikely lead. More was to come. 3 minutes later came the best goal of the game. Rafael Moura jumped on the mistake at the back. He got away from Luan Perez and then produced this fantastic finish for a stunning scoreline in the Vila Belmiro. It was the 8th goal of the campaign for the 37-year-old. There was still time for Santos to score another. Marinho was stopped by Iago Mendonça. The number 11 then stepped forward to hit his 16th goal of the tournament, putting him on level terms with top scorer Thiago Gallardo. With the amazing result, Goias moved on to 29 points and are now thinking about survival. Santos remain out of the top 6. In another 6-pointer at the bottom of the table, Sport went head-to-head Bahia in the Ilha do Retiro. The first half was very cautious and neither side could find the magic touch moving forward. The best chance came early on to the home side. In a counter-attack, Patricky had a long-range shot which produced a good save from the Bahia keeper. Sport eventually pressured the away team. Patricky hit a cross, D'Alberto got a touch, Everton found the net, but was offside. The first of 3 goals ruled out for the Lions in the match. 10 minutes later, the goal that had been threatening finally came. Veteran Thiago Neves showed his ability with a wonderful shot inside the area. Absolute brilliance from Neves. Sport threw everybody forward, and captain Patricky was in top form to make sure his side kept possession. The second goal killed the tie-off. Junior Tavares hit the cross, and centre-back Iago Maidana took full advantage to make it 2-0. The result left Sport with some breathing room at the bottom of the table. Bahia are in the relegation zone, but with the game in hand over some of the sides in trouble. Atletico Goianiense and Fortaleza met in the Estadio Antonio Ascioli in Goiânia in a duel at the wrong end of the table. In the first half there were few opportunities, but goalkeeper Gian was heavily involved. On the 25-minute mark, the referee gave a penalty to Fortaleza after the ball had hit the hand of centre-back João Victor. Juninho sent the ball down the middle, but Gian made a great stop. Minutes later, Wellington Hato was stopped by Paulão in the area and the home side got the penalty. Goalkeeper Gian made the move forward and hit the penalty home. 1-0 to the Dragons. In the second half, Fortaleza went on the counter-attack as they searched for a draw. The away side had more possession and created lots of chances like this one with Wellington Paulista. But the Tricolor failed to convert the opportunities and ended up being punished. Juninho, who was already on a yellow, stopped Atletico's attack and then got his marching orders. With a man down, Fortaleza began to struggle and conceded a second. In a well-worked counter-attack, centre-back João Victor sent a wonderful pass to Nathaniel, who made it 2-0. An excellent win for the Dragons, but more trouble for Fortaleza. Fluminense and Botafogo met in very different circumstances in the league. The Tricolor were hoping to take full advantage of the poor results of the teams above them and break into the G6 and grab a place in next year's Libertadores. Botafogo were trying to keep their very slim chances of avoiding relegation alive. Soon after the start, Fluminense had a chance on goal with Luca after a free kick from Nene. On the 19th minute mark, Botafogo tried with Zé Wellison, but the ball flew over. Despite the nighttime temperatures, the heat was on in Rio de Janeiro. Botafogo keeper Diego Cavalieri and Victor Luiz both needed attention as Flu's players took on some much needed water. The first half ended goalless, but it was Diego Cavalieri's blunder that changed the match. 66 minutes in, a cross from Luis Henrique was met by Luca, who hit the ball home. The Botafogo keeper failed to hold on and his side were a goal down. But the game didn't really take off and the teams continued to struggle. Botafogo's Cicero and Foster went for the same ball and the defensive midfielder limped off. Very late in the match, Wellington Silva won a penalty, and that was that in the São Januário. A very good result for Fluminense, but Botafogo now look dead certs for a return to the second division. Corinthians and Red Bull Bragantino wrapped up round 32 of the Brasileirao. This was a big game for both teams as they went in search for a possible place in continental football next season. The game got off to a hot start in the Neoquímica Arena. After just over a minute, Fabio Santos made a mistake and Red Bull launched a quick counter-attack. Claudinho got a smooth pass from Italo and Elinho was there to fire home past Cassio. A really well-worked goal from the away side. Corinthians tried to respond with a strong shot from Matheus Vital. Clayton backtracked and the ball almost crossed the goal line and was only just kept out. Red Bull maintained the pressure as Corinthians' defence dithered. Arthur closed in on goal and nearly made it 2-0. The game went from end to end. Corinthians and Casares tried from a long way out, but his shot was weak and it was an easy save for Clayton. 10 minutes before the break, Jacques got involved and Casares went for glory, but the ball sailed over. A decent effort all the same. Corinthians were stopped in their tracks just before half-time. Adalan found Italo and the forward spotted Claudinho alone in the area. The player kept his cool and lifted the ball over the keeper for his 16th goal in the competition. 2-0 to Red Bull. Just before half-time, Ramiro came close to putting Corinthians back in the game, but the ball went just wide. In the second half, Red Bull pressed even more. Hiller tested Cassio, who produced a good save to stop the third goal. Ramiro received a great ball from Luan, but there was no way through. A fantastic stop from Clayton, who denied the black and whites once again. Red Bull continued to attack, and Ligia produced a fantastic save from Cassio, the shot stopper keeping the score down with his reflexes. The game became even more tense. Adalan made contact with Otero. Luan didn't like what he saw and got involved as players from both sides squared up. Then Corinthians almost pulled one back. Queijo got things wrong. Fabio Santos saw a chance, but Leo Ortiz came to the rescue, the centre-back celebrating his defensive action. There was more confusion in the area. Clayton and Erivaldo got involved, and so did their teammates. Final score though, 2-0 in the Neoquímica Arena. The result was poor for Corinthians, who saw their chance of breaking into the G6 slip away. But Red Bull Bragantino are flying and are, at the very least, guaranteed a place in Serie A next year. Our top three goals get underway with this beauty from Vasco's Cano. The Argentine struck twice in the win against Atletico Mineiro, and what a beauty it was. Benitez led the charge, but it was the number 14 superb finish that capped off a fantastic move, leaving no chance for Everson. At 2 is Rafael Moura. Santos failed to clear, and the veteran striker took his chance by getting away from Guilherme Nunes, and then lifting the ball over John. What a wonderful goal from He-Man as Goias came from behind to beat Santos in the Vila Belmiro. But this round's number one comes from Thiago Neves. The player has become the man for goals in the Ilha do Retiro, and this one was a picture. Neves pulled off this fabulous bicycle kick in the match against Bahia, and the magical shot helped secure 3 vital points in Sport's fight to avoid relegation. A superb hit from Neves. Despite their loss to Atletico Paranaense, defending champions Flamengo did have something to celebrate. The Hurricanes' Carlos Eduardo thought he was in, but Hugo made a brilliant stop, and then had to do it all again against Kaiser, who really made the fly keeper work. Amazing stuff from Hugo, and without doubt the best save of round 32. On the 42nd minute of the first half against Vasco, Gallows Ford was going all carnival on the left flank. Keno first nutmegged Thales Magno, and then ghosted past Pikachu, who had to bring him down. Atletico's number 11 is what the Brazilians call a smooth player, and a move like this is usually followed with a yellow. For his trickery against Vasco, Keno gets our vote for the dribble of round 32. Let's take a look at the players and the coach who impressed us in round 32. In goal we've gone for Gian of Atletico Goianiense. At right back, Leo Matos of Vasco. The 2 centre-backs are David Duarte of Goiás and Iago Maidana of Sport. At left back, Abner of Atletico Paranaense. In midfield, Edgenilson Internacional, Lima Ceará, Thiago Neves of Sport and Claudinho of Red Bull Bragantino. Up front, Rafael Moura of Goiás and Cano of Vasco. Our man on the bench is Abel Braga of Internacional. Rafael Moura struck twice for the Greens in their fight to avoid the drop to the second division. The 37-year-old was the central figure in his side's terrific win against Santos. His skills and goals even had many comparing the player's outstanding finish in the Vila Belmiro to that of Brazil great Ronaldo the Phenomenon. And without doubt, it was Rafael Moura who was phenomenal in round 32. After 32 rounds, the Campeonato Brasileirao looks like this. Internacional now have a 4-point lead over second place Sao Paulo, with Flamengo, the defending champions, on 55. Right behind them are Atletico Mineiro, Palmeiras and Gremio in the Libertadores places. It remains tight at the wrong end of the table. Sport, Vasco and Fortaleza are all on 35 points, but the teams currently in the relegation zone are Bahia, Goiás, Curitiba and Botafogo. Tragedy. 4 players and the club president of Palmas Futebol e Regatas were killed at the weekend when the plane flying them to Goiânia for a match against Vila Nova crashed. Stoned. The bus carrying Sao Paulo to their stadium, the Morumbi, came under bombardment from the club's own fans on Saturday evening. The players were on their way to the match with Curitiba. 14 were arrested. A cause for concern. Jeromel left the Grenell with an ankle problem that could rule him out of the match against Flamengo this coming week. Round 33 of the Brasileirao kicks off on Sunday with Vasco against Bahia. There's also action involving Curitiba against Gremio, Atletico Goianiense versus Sao Paulo, Atletico Mineiro against Fortaleza, Internacional and Bragantino, Ceará and Atletico Paranaense, plus Fluminense against Goiás. On Monday is Sport against Flamengo, and on Tuesday Palmeiras take on Botafogo. On Wednesday the 17th of February, there's the big derby between Santos and Corinthians. That's it for the show. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the toughest, most exciting league in the Americas, and we'll be back next week with more action from the Brasileirao.